All right, working on the 06 F250 again. Gonna try to do the charcoal canister in the rear by the gas tank. I'm gonna try to drop that because I have a persistent check engine light for P0443, which is the vent valve solenoid. I thought that was the under hood solenoid. I'll get to that in a minute or at some point during the video, but I can hear it clicking. I actually fired the parts cannon at it already and replaced it, didn't fix it. I broke out 4scan after on the new one and was able to trigger it on and off at will, which is a free tool. I'll probably break that out too if needed during the video. But so now I'm thinking it's just a reduced flow or clogged in the charcoal canister back here. From what I've seen online, this type of charcoal canister was only in production for 2 or 3 years. So I don't know if it inherently has problems clogging or not, but the symptoms are the check engine light, and I can't fill it at gas stations without going super slow. So I got this from a service manual, and it looks like I'll need to drop the spare tire and then the spare tire bracket to get at the charcoal canister. And then it's just a line fitting and then a couple bolts at the top. And I'm thinking it's clogged, so let's see. Okay, so here it is with the spare tire down. So I'm gonna take these two out, those two out, these two out, and then it looks like the bracket will just fall away. There is a clip here that goes to, I think this is my actual problem child here. I think this is what the truck can't communicate with, or maybe it can open it, but the flow is clogged. We'll see when we get into it. So that'll be next, is to drop this bracket. Okay, we got it out here. First thing I notice is it smells like gas, some type of weeping gas here, and there wasn't anything connected here. Should there be? Let's go look at the diagram here. There isn't a tube pictured, and that says 2 canister, and this is number 9, which is the evap dust separator. So maybe that's clogged, or maybe this got overfilled, the gas tank. It came back through the vent, filled up this. I don't know how gas would have got here any other way. So just some first impressions here. See some cracking on this boot here. I don't know if that's normal. But anyway, number 11 is the evap canister, so that's this long tube. Number 14 is the solenoid, and that is the evap canister vent solenoid. Number 9 was the dust separator, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna start with opening this up and seeing what's inside, because there's a little latch here. Okay, so I took that solenoid off, and if you're very careful, you can just stick a small screwdriver in between all of these little notches and pop the top off, and there's a little screen here, and mine's pretty clogged, so obviously that's a problem of some kind. So I'm gonna keep digging. So I blew this out gently and was able to clean it. Actually, puffs of dust were coming out when I was blowing from this direction. It seems I can blow and suck through this, so I'm not sure what the purpose of that valve is, unless it's to close it. I don't know. I'm gonna connect the 12 volt up to that in a second and see which way airflow stops, if anything. On this, I was just going to start to kind of see. I don't know if you can see that, but there's dust coming out. I couldn't open this. It looks like it's actually sealed. what I did notice is that when I put some air in here, it's coming out. I can feel it very easily. So again, I'm not sure if that's normal either. I'm gonna research it a little more. Okay, so I got a 12-volt battery. I'm not sure the state of the charge. Connected through some little alligator clips here, and we got a light. So now I'm gonna see if I can touch it to that and hear any clicky clicks. I'm gonna look up which one's ground in the wiring diagram real quick. Oh, by the way, that's the board part number. Okay, I'm still a noob at reading these, but I believe this is our connector 450. If I click on it, look at connector face 450. We should have, I think that's dark green and velvet and white. So DG, or pin number 1, should have battery voltage, I'm thinking. I mean, it says voltage supplied at all times. And then this is the control, pin number 2. And then if I go look over here, pin number 2, which was that VT white, I think that's velvet white, goes to the PCM on pin 13 of its connector, and it is ground switched. So pin 2 should be the negative side. So let's go see. Pin 2. Okay, the one with the little notch on the high side. Okay, so here's the connector down in the underneath the truck. So pin 2 should be on the left, pin 1 on the right. Pin 1 should be hot, pin 2 is control, switch ground. And then if I remember right, that velvet white was pin 2, right? So that should be the ground side. And I have a velvet white and then a green. So actually, wait a minute. Wasn't green the power side? I'll find out. All right, I'm hoping that's a good ground. Got a little test light here. The green one should have power. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. And if I go pick the other one, there should be no power. There isn't. So the one on the left is actually the power in green, and that lines up with, I guess I was just reading the connector face diagram wrong. But anyway, so what that tells me, and here's the solenoid. So if I were to connect that, this pin here on the left is the powered side. Okay, so I'm going to apply 12 volts through it. I'm going to put the positive on that side and then the negative on this side, and see if it clicks first of all. Positive on. Yep, I hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. So it seems to click. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good though. Let's go check with the voltmeter. Okay, so I'm going to try to measure the resistance across the solenoid here. And let's see what comes up. Just going to touch each pin. $61 ohms. I need to go look up if that's normal or not. I'm not sure. So if I'm reading this right, if this is the right component, I am out of spec on ohms. I'm gonna go see if I can find this to try to confirm. Okay, so I went and found the section, 303.13, and it does say the canister vent solenoid is on the evap canister assembly, normally open, mounted to the, so this is our guy for sure. So I just need to canister vent solenoid. Okay, so I'm just going to place it up there and then test it. With the solenoid plugged in, I could feel it turn on for a second and turn off, and the manual says that normally this is open, so I guess that means normally it allows no vacuum in the fuel system, in the fuel tank, because then it would just suck in from the outside air any vacuum that's present and neutralize it. So I'm still confused on how it all works, but since I've cleaned it, I'm curious just to put it back in, connect it up, and see if it does like a key-on engine test, and see if it passes that. And we can try to look at the OBD2 data for vacuum in the fuel tank and see if we can control this. I think we can. If we can build vacuum, and then, so if we can tell this to close, it would build vacuum in the fuel system, and then if I tell this to open, it should neutralize it. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so I got FORScan running here. I am monitoring the fuel tank pressure, the evap canister duty cycle percentage, vent valve, that one that we've been messing with all day. This is a fault status. Probably won't see anything there. I don't know, unless there's a problem. I'm not sure what the value is on that. And then this is the purge valve, the one up front underneath the or in the engine bay. So let's see what happens with these values. Oh, I forgot to play. So it seems like the purge valve up front is increasing its duty cycle. So if we go over to it, do I feel it? I feel it clicking. Let me open up the gas tank cap and see what happens to that pressure. Hard to see. Not sure how to read this, and the glare is killing me. All right, let's see if I don't think I can control it. Let's do a key on engine running test. Press and release the brake pedal. Turn the steering wheel 1/2 turn and release. Cycle the overdrive switch on off if equipped. I have a tow haul, so. Those O2s, I was aware of that. I didn't get anything else. Let's do a key on, engine off test. Well, not sure. I don't know if me cleaning it out and reconnecting it changed anything. I might just need to take it for a little bit of a run to find out. Okay, so I tried to draw this out. The engine, when running, creates vacuum. The purge solenoid is normally closed, which means the engine vacuum is not reaching into the gas tank. The vapor canister is normally open through this vent solenoid so that the outside atmosphere can equalize the gas tank normally. What I think happens is when the engine needs to burn the vapors in the tank, it triggers this to open. And then you'd think it would trigger this to close. I didn't see that on the readout on ForeScan, but that would make sense in my head, because if this is closed, then that would mean the full engine vacuum can suck from this tank at that given moment, and then close this and open this back up, maybe. And when this is open, and if the tank did try to equalize to the outside, it has to travel through the carbon here to trap all the vapors so that it doesn't get out to the outside. I think this is how it works. I'm just not sure what I'm seeing on ForeScan, and I'm not sure about the solenoid. I did clean this, so in the situation where maybe this is clogged and it can't vent in either direction at all, or at least very well, the tank is probably a delayed pressure. So if pressure were to build, it would take a while for it to equalize out. Forgetting the purge solenoid at all for a moment, the tank would have trouble equalizing to the outside pressure out and then in if this was a choke point here or here. And I cleaned both of these points here. So I guess we'll see how the truck reacts if I get a check engine light again for this code, which was 443, I think. I have O2 sensor problems. That's a whole different discussion. But as far as this code here for the evap system, I'm hoping cleaning or blowing out this and cleaning this may fix it. But it didn't show a code for, a pressure or an evap leak or anything like that, so I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so couldn't fill it again, and the P0443 code came back. The fact that I couldn't fill it makes me think that maybe it's not flowing fast enough through here now. I guess to test that, I could leave this off and just run it with the valve. I'm curious what's in here though. But I could just leave the solenoid open. Obviously, you know, this is filtering. This is a filter, and then the filter on the end of the solenoid is a filter too. What I wanted to say too is I took it apart again after I couldn't fill it, and I was wondering if it was getting stuck, like filled with crap again. It was clear, however, I did notice you can see some material down here. See that material? I noticed some of that in here, which makes me think that that this might be breaking down. So I'm gonna try to open this up and see what's inside. Okay, so I took this apart, dremeled it, and this stuff, this filter media, is just absolutely falling apart. So I'm gonna try to clean this up a little bit and maybe try to find something to stick in here to function as a replacement to that. Okay, so I found a pad we had in the house that is porous, kind of similar to what was in there before. Trimmed everything to fit back around. So I'm just gonna hot glue around the sides and call it a day on that. Okay. Hoping. All hot glued up, not prettiest, but it holds pressure for now. The new filter media. Let's see. If it works, save me 30, 40 bucks to get a new one of these. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put everything back together and send it.